The 90th Academy Awards show will acknowledge the Time's Up and Me Too movements against sexual harassment on Sunday. Although attendees are not planning a coordinated protest like they did for the Golden Globes by wearing all black.
And despite facing allegations of sexual misconduct from his former stylist, Ryan Seacrest will be on the red carpet interviewing the stars. Kelly Ripa defending her TV co-host yesterday on Live with Kelly and Ryan, and Seacrest maintains his innocence. Here's Jodi Kantor on Hollywood's reaction to the Seacrest allegations.
In light of the Time's Up and Me Too movements, there is uncertainty as to how Hollywood stars will interact with Seacrest. Well, to help try and clear the air before Sunday, some of his closest colleagues are coming to his defense.
Here are Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest.
After looking ahead to Sunday's Academy Awards on Live with Kelly and Ryan, Kelly Ripa praised her co-host Ryan Seacrest.
I just want you to know that you are a privilege to work with, and I adore you. And I'm speaking on behalf of all of us here.
Also endorsing Seacrest, his current and longtime stylist Jason Stacy, who said in part to People, quote, "There's so many females that work with us. I never once heard anyone say that he's done anything to make them feel uncomfortable."
Okay, so this is my first Oscars.
Support for the red carpet mainstay comes the same week a former stylist detailed her allegations against Seacrest. Susie Hardy told Variety she suffered years of unwanted sexual aggression, saying Seacrest grinded against her while wearing only his underwear, groped her genitals, and slapped her buttock. Some of Hollywood's biggest celebrities, like Jennifer Lawrence, are now questioning how they'll approach Seacrest on Sunday.
He has not been to trial for anything. He's not. Right. I am not a judge. I am not a jury. You know, I don't know. I mean, that's where this stuff gets tricky.
Variety asked this year's awards host Jimmy Kimmel if he'll be interviewed after the Oscars by Seacrest. Kimmel said, "Of course I will."
There is now a gigantic elephant on the red carpet, and it is undeniable.
Editorial director for The Hollywood Reporter, Matthew Bellani, says it will be difficult for stars to avoid the controversy regardless of their interactions with Seacrest.
People who talk to Seacrest will be scrutinized. People who don't talk to Seacrest will be scrutinized. They may just pass by the person who has had this noise around him, regardless of whether it's true or not.
Responding to Jason Stacy's comments, Susie Hardy's attorney says, quote, "I am sure that Ryan can present lots of employees who were not present when the incidents occurred to say they saw nothing." The E! Network says it found insufficient evidence to support Hardy's claims in an independent internal investigation. Reed and Anne-Marie.
Jodi Kantor, thank you. CBS News contributor and New York Times reporter Jodi Kantor broke the Harvey Weinstein story that sparked the Me Too and Time's Up movements, and she joins us now. Good to have you with us here, Jodi. So those movements dominated the red carpet of both the Golden Globes and the Grammys. They are sure to be the headline here at the Oscars. But we take a look at with Ryan Seacrest's presence there and his presence at the Oscars. Is this going to have an impact on this award show?
Well, I think the entire question about the Oscars Sunday night is this going to be an award show that reflects a changed Hollywood, that shows the drama, the pain, what's inspiring about what's happened in the last year? Or is this an Oscars that conveniently tries to sweep everything under the carpet, under the red carpet, and say, let's get back to business? And so the Seacrest situation, which is very awkward, is a part of that because there were powerful allegations made against him. He's denied them, and yet he's standing there as kind of the gatekeeper to the Oscars in that traditional role.
Do you think it's going to change the conversation on the red carpet then as a result? I mean, can we really say spin around and let's see what you're wearing?
Well, it seems to me that everybody has a series of very awkward choices because there's no script for the right thing to say in this situation. But the bigger question about the red carpet, which is not just about Seacrest, is this going to be yet another award show where the men are nominated for producing and directing awards and they're asked about their work, and the women are asked, who are you wearing?
Right. And the protest is about the color that you're wearing or the flower in your lapel, and not beyond sort of a surface protest.
Well, I think the challenge is, the interesting thing is there a way to kind of update the red carpet? Because obviously people do enjoy the fashions and the gowns and the pageantry, and we love Hollywood for the sort of glamour of it, but Is there a way to do it that feels a little more equitable and like less of a throwback?
It seems like the days of old with the fashion, they're really no longer relevant anymore. You're going to be there on the red carpet. You're going to be observing it all, I guess, kind of seeing what happens. And I know some stars may have a difficult time, how do you marry together, possibly speaking with Ryan Seacrest, but then, of course, acknowledging what's happening and the allegations he's facing?
People are going to have some really fascinating choices to make, and they're not necessarily going to tell us ahead of time because they don't want anyone to try to control what they do or don't say. And also remember that the Ryan Seacrest issue is not the only issue with E. There's been some controversy over equal pay with Kat Sadler, the host who left. Some women spoke out about that on camera on E, on the Golden Globes. And so there's been some worry about E building for a while.
So we have Jimmy Kimmel. He's hosting. He obviously has not been holding his tongue on a variety of issues. The expectation is that he's probably going to make, I mean, you can't avoid it. He's probably going to make comments. But I'm wondering, the thing with the challenge for the Oscars is it's kind of coming on the tail end of Oscar season, or sort of award season. So we've seen all these sort of expressions of discontent about what's happening. And now, how can the Oscars do it differently? I mean, we are seeing outside groups protesting. We're hearing about this golden statue, I think, of Weinstein that's going to be out there. Also, the 3 billboards. The best pet of the award for best pedophile goes to. I mean, clearly, outside of this Hollywood bubble, people are asking for more because they're kind of like in your face with it.
Well, the Oscars is the biggest award show. It's the most established one. It's the one that reflects Hollywood history. Yeah. It's also the one that Harvey Weinstein ruled for years and years and years. And as we know now, he was sort of dominating the Oscar stage and, looking like he was palling around with women on the red carpet, when in fact, these terrible, terrible things allegedly were happening in private. So the show has to figure out how to reconcile those things. Kimmel has said, Kimmel made a pretty strong statement the other day saying the Oscars is not a place to relive your sexual assault. But I don't think that's what people are asking for. I think that the women who are concerned about this want a feeling that Hollywood is changing and that it's responding to these concerns.
Are they going to do this through Jimmy Kimmel? I mean, is he going to be that voice that will assuage the concerns or the fears?
He said that he will address this in some way. We don't know exactly what he'll say. The bigger question, though, is the presenters and the winners, because they can't be controlled. They're not being paid by the network.
So what are you going to be listening for, aside from the speeches? I'm
going to be listening for everything. It says I am going to be there almost like as a sociological observer, as somebody who, look, I'm an investigative reporter, right? My job was to break the Harvey Weinstein story. My job was to see what was happening in private. So to then be able to go there and see the kind of public face of it, I think will be really interesting.
And what have you been hearing? I mean, you talk to people in the industry. Does it feel like there's a change afoot?
They say there's a huge change.
Really?
They really do. They don't. It's hard to measure how long it will last or how deep it will go or how permanent it will be. But yeah, they say, the thing they say that's the clearest is they say that there is, for the first time, a firm definition that sexual harassment is not okay. The term casting couch, which was always considered permanent in Hollywood as recently as last summer, people were saying to Megan Twohey and I, this is the way Hollywood is. It always functions this way. It always has. People are done with that idea. This behavior is widely deemed unacceptable. I think the bigger question that's unresolved are these questions of power and balance and who makes the movies. But this is a fascinating week for that, too. We've got Ava DuVernay's Wrinkle in Time coming out. And so that makes a pretty strong statement about where Hollywood is headed as well.
Yeah, I wonder if some people are upset that the party's over, though. I mean, we were actually talking in the makeup room about these post-Oscar parties and whether or not, there's sort of a chill effect because of this.
I think Hollywood decadence is safe. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Right.
I think the level of lux and glam there is so well established that it would take even more than this to do away with that.
Jodi Kantor, thank you very much.